After that, cash flow statement also we have done. After cash flow statement, we started with cost accounting. In cost accounting, you have done with the cost sheet. So remember, these are the things we discussed so far. The last aspect of this particular course is marginal costing. Marginal costing. So you don't have any doubts with regard to the previous chapters? You want to ask nothing? All of you are silent. That means you understood everything. So many of you are there online. Online only 8 members are there. Okay, what is prime cost? In cost sheet. What is prime cost? Raw material plus raw material plus direct labor plus direct expenses equal to prime cost. What is cost of production? Cost sheet. Is cost of
Prime cost plus overhead.
prime cost plus
Overhead.
prime cost plus overhead. Factory overheads is equal to factory cost, no?
Indirect.
Plus yes, work in progress, opening and closing.
Closing stock. Finishing needs.
First is cost of production. So many formulas are there. Simple one. What is cost of production? How do you calculate cost of production? The cost sheet. What is that?
Finished.
What is that? Okay. Okay.
So whatever the cost, excluding the marketing and sales and marketing costs. just it's not in formula, but in terms of sentence that we should.
Constitution divides who is Hindu, who is not Muslim, who is not Christian, who is not like that you are telling. That's correct. Like cost of production is nothing but total cost minus
Sales and distribution cost.
selling and distribution cost. Correct. But when you start from the beginning,
That is a raw material direct.
already you are having prime cost, already you are arrived at prime cost. After it will be prime cost plus factory overheads plus
Administrative.
opening stock of work in progress minus closing stock of work in progress minus scrap plus admin and office overheads. If you do this before admin and office, you will get work cost. Prime cost plus factory overheads plus opening stock of work in progress minus closing stock of work in progress minus scrap is equal to work cost. Work cost. Okay, if you plus admin and office overheads, you get cost of production. Prime cost plus factory overheads equal to work cost plus office admin overhead is equal to cost of production. Okay, then what is cost of goods sold? Cost of goods sold.
Selling and distribution.
Okay. Yeah, selling and distribution overhead is what? Now, what is cost of? Okay, if you add selling and distribution overheads, which cost of sales? But cost of sales is last one, no. Cost of sales is the last one. You are not remembering that formula. I mean that format. cost sheet formula. Yes. Cost of production plus opening stock of finished goods minus closing stock of finished goods is equal to cost of goods sold. So the cost of goods sold plus selling and distribution overhead is equal to cost of sales. So cost sheet format you don't remember, you forgotten. I repeat again. Opening stock of raw material plus purchase of raw material plus any transport cost on purchase of raw material minus closing stock of raw material is equal to materials consumed. Yes. Plus direct labor or direct wage plus direct expenses is equal to prime cost. This one stage. Then plus factory overheads plus opening stock of work in progress plus closing stock of work in progress is equal to, otherwise minus sale of scrap, one more, sale of scrap is equal to cost, work cost or factory cost. On that, you have to add office and admin overheads, you'll get cost of production plus opening stock of finished goods minus closing stock of finished goods, you'll get cost of goods sold. On the top of that, if you add selling and distribution overheads, you will get cost of sales. On cost of sales, along with cost of sales, if you add the estimated amount of profit, you will get
Sales price.
amount of sales price. The costing. This is what we discussed in the last class, I think. We have discussed this and we have done one or two questions on it. So you have to revise. If you have some free time, you have to just revise. Actually, you can use some videos, whenever you are free. Okay. You cannot only do all those things in the class. You cannot do it. You have to just take some more effort to understand better. Just be listening to videos. There are so many videos available. So just due to the videos. Okay, anyway, next chapter, last chapter of the semester is marginal costing. You remember when I was speaking about costing, I told you there are two things. There are two things. That is, one is method and one is technique. Method of costing is nothing but the various mechanisms by which we ascertain the cost of a product or a service. Methods in academics or cost accounting subject, we call that as costing methods. Methods refers to the procedure by which we ascertain the cost of a particular product or service. And there are so many methods I told you. One of the methods is unit costing method, which you apply to calculate the cost of a product by preparing a cost sheet. Methods are not uniform for all the industries because the industry is differing in their nature. If you manufacture any product for a stock, you can follow the cost sheet method what you already studied. This is called a uniform costing or unit costing or output costing. It's one of the methods of costing. Understood? Later there are so many other methods. Process costing is there. Operating costing is there. Operation costing is there. Service costing is there. There are so many. It depends upon the industry for which you are accepting the cost of product or service. You have to appropriately use the methods of cost. We are not learning all those methods in this course. We have learned just one method, that is uniform costing or unit costing or output costing. It is nothing but preparation of a cost sheet. Okay, just adding all the cost, total cost you are having it, divided by the number of units produced. Because all the units are identical in nature. You are not concentrating more on one unit and concentrating less on another unit and adding some value to one unit and not adding value to another unit. Not like that. It is uniform. Uniform. Suppose you are manufacturing a chair. Okay, chair. Not for order. I mean, not for any specific age. You are following some standard form, shape, material, size, everything. That's called for stock. Suppose some other carpenter, some other furniture company, they are manufacturing for a specific order. Suppose Amazon College is giving an order to a furniture company. We want a chair in this shape, in this quality, in this material. Everything you are giving a prescription. That is called job cost. Those industries or those situations that companies should arrive at the cost by following a method called job costing. Likewise, there are so many. There are another thing I told you, control over the cost. To control the cost, we have some techniques. So at the time, if you follow some method, process is called as methods. To control, if you follow any kind of mechanism, those are called as techniques. One of the techniques is marginal costing. There are so many techniques available. Techniques are nothing but the mechanism or any process or procedure or any kind of idea, methodology that we follow in order to control the cost of a product or a service. Okay, example, marginal costing, ABC costing, and there are so many, standard costing, variance analysis, like that there are so many. Okay, now we are having in our syllabus only one, that is marginal cost. So what is marginal cost? It's also a method of ascertaining as well as control, both coming together here, but mainly for controlling technique we use this. What is it?
Okay, sir, thank you.
Yes? So online, anybody has any doubt?
I have actually. That's not.
Okay. So in traditional method, we just add all the costs together and we try to find out the total cost. But in marginal costing technique, we are just giving importance for additional cost, what you are going to incur if you increase 1 unit of production. Suppose I am producing 100 units. 100 units are producing as usual. Regularly, 100 units are producing. For 100 units, my total cost is 1,000 rupees. Are you able to get the data? For producing 100 units, I am incurring a total cost of 1,000 rupees. Now I am going to introduce one more unit. I am going to produce one more additional unit. For that additional increase of one more unit of total production, what is the total increase in the cost? See, 1,000 is the total cost for how many units? 100 units. So what's the cost per unit? 10 rupees. 10 rupees. Then what will be the cost for the further one more unit I am producing? 101 units. If I produce 101 units, what will be my total cost? 1,010. If it is so, that is mathematically correct. But technically speaking, costing wise, if you are speaking, the increase in the cost, suppose you are 20 members in the classroom. Okay, 20 members in the classroom. They are paying me some money to come and teach you. If suppose one more member is adding, the cost paid to that particular teaching hour remains the same. So those costs is called as fixed cost. Suppose government of India or government of Karnataka wants some amount of money for one admission. That is the only additional cost for the university is going to incur because of that particular admission. Is admitted one more student. Everything is same. All the cost remains the same. Because of him, no teacher is going to be appointed. Because of him, one chair is not going to be ordered. Because of him, nothing is going to be incurred newly. Suppose assume the government wants some kind of money for one admission from the college. That means that's the only cost the college is going to incur. That's additional cost. Same example for a company, fixed cost remains constant. If you introduce one more unit, if you produce one more unit, direct material is going to be increased. Because to produce one notebook, if you use 100 page, to produce 2 notebooks, I have to buy 200 page. The cost of buying raw material is increasing. Suppose you are appointing somebody to convert the paper into a notebook. For that, you are paying some fixed amount. If you make one notebook, I will give you 5 rupees. That 5 is going to be increased. So far, you are producing only 100 notebook. You were paying 100 into 5, 500 rupees as wage. But now you are going to pay 101 into 5. 505 rupees you are going to pay as wage. Okay, any other expense, that's also going to increase. But other thing, the room rent, factory manager salary, supervisor salary, advertisement, all remain same. So because of this reason, the increase in output will not proportionately increase in the total cost. Okay, this concept is called as marginal costing or marginal cost. The additional cost that is to be incurred, or that is supposed to be incurred by the company, if the company wants to produce one more additional unit, is called as marginal cost. Here, I repeat again, marginal cost is nothing but a cost, or which is called incremental cost, additional cost, variable cost. These are the various names for marginal cost. Marginal, incremental, additional, variable. Okay, so marginal cost nothing but a cost which is additionally incurred, or which is increased by how much? Because of the production of one more additional unit. That additional cost is called as marginal cost. So what is these techniques, or how it is useful in management, how it is useful for controlling the cost, or how it is useful for taking any decision? Suppose a new order is coming for you, new order. Some customer is coming and telling, sir, we want 1,000 units of this output. Can you give me for this kind of reduced price? You are already producing the same thing. You are having everything set up. Only thing is material, labor, and other direct expenses you are going to incur further. Remaining all other overheads remain same. So you are able to give some kind of leverage for that particular client for a reduced price. You are not going to charge the rate at which you are going to charge the open market. So that is called marginal costing. Look at this file, we can understand a little more better. So marginal cost is nothing but the cost which is incurred to produce one more additional unit. One more additional unit. But in general, in absorption costing, there's another costing called absorption costing. In absorption costing or traditional costing, we don't worry about this increased material cost. We just add all the cost incurred for that particular company. We don't take a variable and fixed. Remember, we discussed in the beginning of cost accounting class, cost can be classified into three categories. One is fixed cost, variable cost, semi-variable cost. According to cost accounting, for any company for that matter, any cost that is incurred in that company can be classified into three categories based on the traceability of the cost to the unit of production. Of course, cost can be classified into so many categories based on so many logic. One basis is based on the traceability of the cost to the unit of production. What is the traceability? I can categorically say that this is the amount what is incurred for this unit with respect to this particular cost. Example, material cost. Example, direct material cost. The basic example I told you, to produce one notebook, if I use 100 sheets as the content, the 100 sheets as the content in the notebook. Okay, a notebook consists of 100 sheets. So what is the raw material cost? 100 sheet, how is the price? Suppose 20 rupees. The 20 rupees is the cost that is to be incurred for one notebook. I can easily say that this 20 is the cost of the paper for this one notebook. I can easily say. There is no concept of allocation, or there is no concept of finding it out how much it can be. Similar to that, wage also. To make one notebook, if you are paying 5 rupees as wage to the laborer, it is easy to say that to make one notebook, 5 rupees the wage. Categorically can say. Okay, but supervisor salary, suppose supervisor is here, 20 members are working in your factory. Okay, 20 members are producing different number of units. Per day, different units are produced by different people. Okay, A can produce 1,000 units, B can produce only 800, C can produce 750 only. It varies based on their efficiency or based on the time allotted for the production. Okay, but the manager who is supervisor or factory manager, the salary given to him cannot be easily connected to the unit of output. Suppose in a month, 1 lakh units are produced. Okay, 1 lakh is given as a salary for factory manager. We cannot say that 1 rupee is the cost for all the units. Of course, if you divide 1 rupee only, total manager salary 1 lakh, number of units produced 1 lakh units. So 1 rupee is the approximately 1 rupee is the cost. But the manager may not be spending any time with one worker. He is efficient, he is doing on his own. Another worker, very much new. The manager is always going and giving some support or some kind of instruction. He might have been taken so much of time of the manager. He produced only 2,000 units. So the point what I'm trying to say is the 1 lakh what we pay to the manager cannot be categorically allocated to all the units produced in that particular month in that particular premises. If that is the case, that is called indirect cost. Indirect. Okay, those costs remain same. If you produce 1 lakh unit or 50,000 units or 60,000 units, up to some 100% capacity, it remains the same. Suppose in this classroom, 100 is the capacity. Up to 100 members, I can talk. The salary payable for me is same for 10 members also, 20 members also, up to 100 members also. Suppose admission is going beyond 100, that time one or two can be adjusted. If it is going beyond certain level capacity, then you have to take one more classroom. That time the capacity need to be doubled. We are not talking about this. In normal situation, within the 100% capacity, the overhead remains constant. Fixed cost remains constant. Fixed cost is nothing but a cost that remains constant in total. Fixed cost in total remains constant. The rent payable for factory remains constant. If you produce 1,000 units in the premises for which you are paying 1,000 rupees as rent, the rent per unit of production is 1 rupee. Suppose you are producing only 500 units in the same premises in another month, the rent per unit is cost of rent for 1 unit of production is 2 rupees. So fixed cost per unit varies. In first case, what was the rent cost per 1 unit? 1 rupee. In the second case, it is 2 rupee. How it is? The production is reduced. The number of units are reducing. That time the cost per unit of fixed cost is increasing. So I repeat again. Fixed cost in total remains constant irrespective of the volume of production. At the same time, fixed cost per unit varies, that to in an indirect proportion. If the number of units produced is reduced, the number of units produced is reduced, the cost per unit of fixed cost is increasing. The opposite direction. You have to understand, right? Then come to variable cost. Variable cost, the cost which is varying according to the volume of production. Volume of production. Variable cost varies according to volume of production. We discuss that after 2 minutes. I'll come to that particular page. Yeah. Okay. So variable cost varies depending upon the number of outputs. Output increases, variable cost in total increases. To make 1 notebook, cost of paper is 20 rupees. To make 2 notebooks, the cost of paper will be 40 rupees. To make 3 notebooks, the cost of paper will be 60. It is going increasing. It is keeping on increasing based on the number of output increases. Direct proportion in total. But per unit cost of the paper remains constant. Even though you produce 1 lakh unit, for 1 unit, paper cost is 20 rupees. Okay, that is what is called as variable cost remains constant per unit. Then another one, third category, semi-variable cost. There are some costs which will vary to certain extent. I mean, which may be remains fixed for certain extent. After that, it will start varying based on the number of units produced. Okay, so based on this category of cost, we prepare a statement. The statement is called as marginal cost statement. So in marginal cost statement, we have this breakup called contribution. Normally in profit and loss account, or to find out the profit of an organization, we minus the total cost from total expenditure, I mean, total income. To find out the profit. But here there is one small breakup, one stage is introduced. We are not minusing all the costs together. We classify the cost into two categories. One is variable cost, another one is fixed cost. The total revenue, that is sales, minus variable cost. Whatever you are getting, the amount is called as contribution. But in equation, contribution is equal to sales minus variable cost. Sales minus variable cost is equal to contribution. One small stage, a particular stage. Okay. Instead of minusing all the cost from the total revenue, we are minusing only variable cost as at first. Remaining is called contribution. From contribution, we minus fixed cost to find out the profit. So this is called the marginal cost equation. So marginal cost equation, there are two equations. One is contribution is equal to sales minus variable cost. Next line, contribution minus fixed cost is equal to profit. Contribution minus fixed cost is equal to profit. Or if it is minus, it is called. If it is minus, fixed cost is more than contribution means loss. Look at a small example. There is a company whose fixed cost to produce some items is rupees 20,000 and variable cost is 50,000 and they are selling the same product for rupees 80,000. How the marginal costing works? Contribution is equal to sales minus variable cost, that is equal to 80,000 is the sales minus 50,000 is the variable cost. So contribution is going to be 30,000 rupees. Why it is called contribution? It is contributing 30,000 rupees. It is contributing 30,000 rupees towards the meeting out of fixed cost, towards the recovery of fixed cost. See, there are so many fixed costs commonly incurred by the company. The facilities are shared by so many departments. Okay, all the time you cannot minus the total cost for that only one department. If you minus that, that is illogical. Suppose Dana sir is having some 5 departments: MBA, MCA, MCOM, MSc, MTech. Like that, 5 departments are there. There are some common facilities which are used by all the 5 departments, all the 5 programs. If you charge the cost of one program by adding the full cost of that one particular facility, which is actually shared by all in only one program, and also in another program, and also in another program, that is illogical way of calculating the total cost of the program. Actually, it is shared by many people. So you have to calculate only the variable cost, what is to be incurred for running one particular program. Remaining all is going to be shared by all the departments, that will be separately minus from the total contribution. So contribution from department A, contribution from department B, total contribution. From total contribution minus the total fixed cost, you will get the profit of the organization. So this is a statement. So when you do this question, you have to do it in a statement actually. Sales amount, particular amount, sales is first one, amount you are writing, minus, next line is variable cost. When the amount is equal to contribution, minus fixed cost is equal to profit or loss. And it has a lot of applications in the real life. If you analyze these 3 logic, sales, fixed cost, variable cost, contribution and profit, the relationship between these 5, if you analyze, that analysis is called as cost, volume, profit analysis. What is cost? It refers to both variable cost as well as fixed cost. Volume is nothing but sales, number of units, volume. If volume is increasing, sales value will increase. Okay. Profit, how much is that profit? So the relationship between these 3, we have to analyze. It's a very, very important tool in management accounting. Okay. It's a managerial tool that shows the relationship between the various ingredients of profit planning, that is cost, selling price, and volume of activity. Cost is having direct impact on the profit. Cost increases, profit decreases, opposite relationship. Volume of output increases, profit increases, volume of output. Okay, selling price. Okay, volume of output increases, selling price remains constant also, profit increase. Okay, another one is cost. How much cost? Cost is having indirect relationship, volume is having a direct relationship. Okay, so this analysis is called as CVP analysis, otherwise it can be called as break-even analysis. Have you heard about the break-even? What is break-even?
No profit, no loss.
What is that? No profit, no loss.
The cost and the selling price.
Cost of the material.
The sense total cost of.
Cost of material and selling price remains the same, means you get a loss, right?
No, total cost.
Total cost of the product or service is equal to
Selling price.
selling price. That time
Break-even point.
profit is equal to 0. So it's called break even. In marginal costing technique, how can you say that? Contribution is equal to fixed cost. Both same thing.
Correct.
Contribution is the point at which the sales at which or the volume of sales at which the contribution is just equals to contribution equals to fixed cost. Is equal to break even point. We have some logic to calculate this. Before that, are you okay with this equation? Sales minus variable cost equal to contribution. That should be equal to always fixed cost plus profit. Write down this. You already written contribution is equal to sales minus variable cost, right? And also you written fixed cost minus from contribution is equal to profit. You written two equations. Next equation, write it. Contribution is always equal to fixed cost plus or minus profit. Contribution is equal to fixed cost plus or minus profit or loss. Plus or minus profit or loss. So this is the marginal costing statement. Marginal cost statement. Whatever you written in a equation, it is given in a statement form. Okay, particular amount, in particular column sales. What is the expected sales of the company? Some amount minus variable cost. After writing the equation and the statement also. Marginal cost statement. Marginal cost, simple. The same equation written in a statement format. In marginal cost statement, profit can be identified. Profit can be found out by applying this small statement. Okay. Sales minus variable cost equal to contribution. Contribution minus fixed cost is equal to profit. The statement. Okay. Right. Now, if you want to apply this in a real-time basis to find out the break-even points, we have to fix the relationship between these variables. We have sales as a variable cost another variable, contribution is there, fixed cost is there, and profit or loss. There are totally 5 variables are there. Okay, we're trying to fix the relationship between or find out the relationship between these variables. That will help us in knowing about the break-even sales. Okay, this concept is called as profit volume analysis or cost volume profit analysis. Okay, look at these equations. There are 2 equations given to you. One is profit volume ratio is equal to contribution by sales into 100. Otherwise, profit volume ratio is equal to change in contribution divided by change in sales into 100. These equations can be applied in 2 different situations. If we know that 2 years period of times contribution, suppose last year contribution is 1 lakh, current year contribution is 2 lakh, then you can apply this equation. Data relating to 2 point in time, 2 period in time is there. That time you can apply the second equation. So I have only 1 point in time, some amount of contribution and sales, then you can apply this one. What is profit volume ratio? It's nothing but the proportion of contribution towards sales. The proportion of contribution of sales. Okay, how much percentage of sales is coming as contribution? Suppose I sell the unit for 100 rupees. Variable cost is 60 rupees. So what is PV ratio? My sales 100 rupees. My variable cost is 60 rupees. What is my PV ratio? It is not accounting, it's mathematics, no? Right, sir? How it is 6? Why divided by 100? Logic. My sales how much? Is the example. What is my sales I told you? Huh? 100. What is my variable cost I told you? 60 rupees. 60 rupees. So what is contribution? 40. What is PV ratio? Huh? What is PV ratio? 40%. 40%, right? What is PV ratio? PV ratio is nothing but the percentage relationship of contribution to sales. I did not give any number, I given only 100. So same thing. Suppose you take like this. 1 lakh is my sales. I am expecting to sell my product for 1 lakh rupees. I am supposed to incur some expenditure in terms of variable, that is 70,000 rupees. What is my PV ratio now? 30%, 0.3 or 30%. If I have 1 rupee of sales, 30 paisa is my contribution. That means that product contributes towards the recovery of fixed cost 30 rupees out of 100 rupees of sales. Okay. So by applying this equation, we can find out break-even point. What is break-even point? We told where the fixed cost is just equal to contribution. Fixed cost is just equal to contribution, or total cost is equal to selling price. Okay. Okay, break-even point. Look at this formula. Break-even point in units. What is that in units? What do you mean in units? Break-even point in units means, suppose you are a cycle manufacturer. How many cycles you have to sell to reach a level that there is no profit or loss? How many cycles units? Break-even point units meaning 20,000 units, meaning 20,000 cycles you should minimum sell to reach a level of no profit, no loss. That's called in units. Another one you can say in rupees, in dollar, in value. What is to be your sales value to reach out your break-even point? In this example, 20,000 cycles into selling price of cycle. Selling price of one cycle is equal to break-even point in value. Two ways you can express break-even point. So this is the number of units you have to sell. That's one way of explaining. Another way of expressing is in terms of money, in terms of value. So you have to sell for 2 lakh rupees so that you can reach out a break-even point. Both we can identify, both we can calculate by applying a small equation. Look at this equation. Break-even point in units is equal to total fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. You can simply understand this logic. See, what is break-even point? Fixed cost should be equal to contribution. Suppose in my company, fixed cost is 10,000 rupees. Fixed cost is 10,000 rupees. Contribution per unit is 1 rupee. Then how many units I have to sell to reach the fixed cost of 10,000? 10,000 units I have to sell. If I sell 10,000 units, 1 unit is giving me a contribution of 1 rupee. If 10,000 units I am selling, total contribution is going to be 10,000, which is just equal to my fixed cost. That means breaking. Okay. So in that logic, how can I find out? Fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Same example. Fixed cost 10,000 rupees. Contribution per unit is 1 rupee. So 10,000 divided by 1 is equal to 10,000. So 10,000 cycles I have to sell, or 10,000 packet I have to sell, 10,000 chair I have to sell to reach out my point. In that logic, this formula need to be remembered by you. I repeat again. Fixed cost should be equal to contribution for any kind of sales, for any given point of sales. That sales is called as break-even sales. How do I identify it? Fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Look at the word. Per unit is important. Per unit. For 1 unit, what is the contribution? in exam or in the some other discussion, you may have total sales. Total sales minus total variable cost is equal to total contribution. You should not divide the fixed cost by total contribution. If you divide that, that's illogical. You will divide the fixed cost by contribution. So that you get the number of units to be sold to reach the break-even point. Okay. Next one. In value, if you want to find out the break-even point in value, two things you can do. One is by applying the first formula, you will get the number of units. Multiply by selling price per unit. Selling price per unit. If you do so, you will get the total sales value which you have to achieve, which you have to reach to make your company to be breaking even. Otherwise, you can directly calculate, that is total fixed cost divided by contribution into sales. Same thing can be otherwise written as total cost, total fixed cost divided by PV ratio. These two is nothing but PV ratio. The relationship between contribution and sales is nothing but PV ratio. Either you can apply this directly or you can go with PV ratio formula. PV ratio is nothing but contribution by sales into 100. Contribution by sales into 100. It's a denominator. That's why when it's coming here, it is the inverse of that. Inverse of that. Contribution by sales is the denominator here. When it comes to multiplication, it becomes sales by contribution. Okay, any one you can follow. Depending upon the data, you may be required to follow any one of these. I repeat again the three formulas, three logic. Contribution is equal to sales minus 100. Sorry, sales minus variable cost. Contribution minus fixed cost is equal to contribution minus fixed cost is equal to profit or loss. Profit or loss. Okay. PV ratio is equal to contribution divided by sales into 100. When you calculate PV ratio, if you do it per unit, if you do it in total, both will give same answer because it's a percentage. Suppose for 1 unit selling price is 10 rupees. 1 unit selling price is 10 rupees. Variable cost is 7 rupees. What is the PV ratio now? Selling price 10 rupees. Variable cost 7 rupees. What is the PV ratio? 3. 30%. 3 is contribution. 30% is PV ratio. 30%. Now the same company sells 1 lakh units. 1 lakh into 10, 10 lakh is the total sales. 10 lakh is the total sales rupee. Okay. Minus variable cost. 1 lakh into 7 lakhs. So 10 lakh minus 7 lakh is equal to 3 lakh is the total contribution. 3 lakhs divided by 10 lakhs total sales. Multiply by 100 is equal to 30. So contribution per unit, if you calculate as PV ratio, or contribution in total, if you take that as a numerator to calculate the PV ratio, both will give the same answer because it is represented in terms of percentage. Okay. So PV ratio is the base for calculating break-even point in value by applying this formula called total fixed cost divided by PV ratio. Will give you the break-even point in value. Fixed cost divided by contribution per unit will give you break-even point in number of units. Okay. Can we take some example now? A small question. Look at this 3 data. Fixed cost is given, variable cost is given, selling price is given. You are asked to calculate break-even point and also sales to earn a profit of rupees 20,000. I'll explain that also and we'll do this question. Now we have come to a break-even. But break-even is not the aim of the company, right? First, at least you have to break even. But that is not the incident, that is not the intent of the company. So I will always have no profit, no loss. No company will decide. First stage, okay. Later you have to go for earning profit. So now the company is deciding to earn a given amount of profit, an X amount of profit. If I want to earn X amount of profit, how many units I have to sell? you'll get the target from your sales department, right? Or the company will pick the target for the company itself, the sales department. So this year we have to sell at least 1 lakh units. That at least is nothing but unit to be sold to earn a given amount of profit. They already planned some amount of profit. ROI. I want this much of ROI. Okay, the ROI will give you the rate of return on investment. On that, you will find out how much of profit you want to earn. That is fixed. To earn this much of profit, how many units I have to? How do I identify? It's very simple. Zero is the profit at the time of breaking, plus how much you want. Fixed cost plus desired profit divided by PV ratio or divided by contribution per unit will give you the sales to be made or number of units to be sold to earn that amount of profit. Fixed cost by contribution per unit is going to give you fixed cost in total divided by contribution per unit will give you break-even point in units. Okay, so fixed cost plus how much you want extra. Fixed cost only if you recover means profit is zero. But you are having in your mind some amount of profit. Add that also in fixed cost. I have to first recover fixed cost. After recovering fixed cost, I need this much amount of profit. So fixed cost plus that much amount of profit divided by contribution per unit will give you the number of units to be sold to earn that amount of. No, sir, I want to know the value of sales. That time fixed cost in total plus desired amount of profit what I want to earn. Whole thing divided by PV ratio. If you do that, you will get the amount of sales to be made to earn that amount of profit. In this question, that amount of profit is nothing but how much? That amount of profit is nothing but how much? 20,000. This company wants to earn 20,000 rupees profit. So how much should be their contribution? If I want to earn the profit of 20,000, where my company is having a fixed cost of rupees 1,50,000, how much amount should be my contribution? 1,70,000. All right. I have to earn first fixed cost. In addition to that, I want 20,000 rupees as profit. So my contribution should be 1,70,000. If my contribution need to be 1,70,000, what is my per unit contribution? If I calculate, if I divide this total amount of contribution needed divided by per unit contribution, I will get the number of units to be sold to earn that amount of contribution. Okay. So look at this. Fixed cost 1,50,000, variable cost rupees 15 per unit. Look at the word per unit. And selling price is also 30 rupees per unit. What is the contribution per unit? 15 rupees the contribution per unit. How did you calculate? SP minus VC. Selling price minus variable cost. 30 minus 15 is equal to 15. Okay. Now, what is the break-even point? How do you calculate break-even point in unit? Fixed cost by per unit. Fixed cost how much? 1,50,000 divided by contribution per unit is nothing but 15. So 1,50,000. 1,50,000 divided by 15 rupees is equal to 10,000 units. This company should sell in order to earn 0 rupees as profit or 0 rupees as loss, break even. Okay. Now, can you tell me what is the amount of sales this company should earn to reach out the break even point? Amount of sales. Value of sales. 1,50,000, yes, 1,50,000. How do you calculate? Simply you can say this amount, or you can say 15 into 10,000. Your selling, selling price how much? 30 rupees selling price. Okay, but you need only 50. No, break even point in value is nothing but 10 lakh in 10,000 into 30. 10,000 into 30. You have to earn at least how much? 10,000 into 30. How much? 3 lakhs. 3 lakhs should be your sale. So that how much you go for only variable cost? 1,50,000 will go for variable cost. Remaining 1,50,000 will go for fixed cost. Remaining is 0. That's nothing but profit. No profit, no loss. Okay. Second question, they are asking you to calculate the break-even emission. Sales to earn the profit of 20,000. Formula is fixed cost plus desired amount of profit, whole thing divided by contribution per unit. Okay, in this case, 1,50,000 plus 20 divided by 15 divided by 15 is equal to how much? Forget about this. Only tell me this. 1,50,000 plus 20 is equal to 1,70,000. 1,70,000 by 15 is equal to 1,70,000 divided by 15. 11,333 units. Into how much? 30 rupees. Into 30 rupees is equal to 3,39,999. Is it right? Yeah, that's right. Written 3,40,000. This is the amount of sales you have to make to earn a profit of 20,000. Okay, if you divide this by 30 rupees, you will get the number of units. Otherwise, without multiplying this, you will get one answer. That answer is in units. Yeah. Any doubt in this? Yeah, look at this. This is a diagram through which you can find out the break-even point. It's called the break-even chart. So far, we discussed about mathematically how to find out the break-even point. This is nothing but a graphical way of doing it. The chart through which we can find out the break-even point. Look at this. X-axis and Y-axis, number of units, and then amount, rupee is given. This straight line is there as per fixed cost. That straight line is called fixed cost. It represents fixed cost. Even 0 unit is produced, that remains same. For 100 units, 400, 800, 1,200, 600, whatever it is, that remains fixed cost remains same. But fixed cost also will change when it crosses the 100% limit. The utilization of capacity crosses 100% capacity. After that, we have to keep one more unit, one more capacity, one more facility. Okay. So the other one, look at this. This line is nothing but revenue. From 0, there is one line goes upward, right? That represents sales. If I sell 0 unit, my sales is 0. If I sell 400 units, my sales is near to 200. If I sell 800 units, my sales is going beyond more than that. Okay. So when this sales line, revenue line intersects or touches the total cost line, that point is called as break-even point. Look at this. The other one is total cost. This line is total cost. This line is total cost. Cost line. Okay. When cost line touches the sales revenue line, if you draw one line down towards the x-axis, that gives you the number of units to be sold for reaching the break-even. If you draw a line towards the y-axis, that where it touches the y-axis, that point will tell you for how much you have to sell to reach the graphical representation of break-even calculation. Okay, this is not break-even chart. Okay, suppose if we sell more than break-even point, what is it called? Huh? No, that is okay. If we sell more than break-even point, what is break-even point? It's nothing but a unit, or it's nothing but a value of sales. If you sell more than that, what is it called? That addition. Suppose your total sales is 1 lakh, but your break-even sales is only 80,000. What is the 20,000 called? You are able to meet out break-even point by selling only 80,000 units. But in real time, for your company, the sales is 1 lakh units. What is the difference between break-even sales and actual sales called? How it is profit? That is contributing towards your profit. I'm not asking about that. It's only unit right. 1 lakh unit you are really selling. But you are expected to sell only 80,000 to reach break even. But you sold excess to break even, excess over and above the break even. What is that called? Over and above the break even, if you sell something, what is the number of units that called? What is that? You're confusing. I should have not asked this question. Contribution is nothing but what? Contribution is sales minus variable. Now I'm talking about the difference between same thing. What's the number I told you? 1,60,000. 8,000, 1,80,000. What is it called? Number of commodity, number of units. Product sold. The difference between these two mathematically 20,000. What is the 20,000 called? Sorry? Somebody telling them. Marginal safety. Your company is safe by 20,000 units. The company is safe by 20,000 units. The difference between real sales and the break-even sales is called as margin of safety. Margin of safety is nothing but the excess of actual sales over the break-even sales. So, greater the margin of safety, better the efficiency of the company. If you have more number of units as margin of safety, even though sales falling down because of some external factor, the shock will not be absorbed by you much. Another case, like the example I tell you. Your total sales is 1 lakh, but your break-even sales is only 1,000. Break-even sales is just 1,000, but you are able to make a sales of real-time sales of 1 lakh. You are safe by 99,000 units. If anything happens in the market, suddenly market falls, that time also your company will withstand. Why? You are having 99,000 times of, 99 times of more than your margin of safety. Break even. Even though company, market crashes, market gets lesser demand due to some external forces, you are safe. So this is called margin of safety. Yes, sir. You are not having break even at all, no? That time. Suppose break even point is 1 lakh units, but you have to sell only 1,000 units. Only 1,000 you are able to sell. But 1 lakh is the break even point of sales. What is that called? Nothing is very heavy. That's very hypothetical situation actually. We have just reverse that example. That's why it's coming that much difference. But anyway, it may be there. Okay. Suppose my break even sales 1,000 units. I'm able to sell only 500 units. Possible. In the beginning, very beginning, suggestion period will be there. Market need to be established. Customer need to be informed about their product. So many things will be there. But nothing is called in cost accounting or management accounting. But that's very what is there? Worst situation. At the very beginning, we cannot say just the worst situation. If it's established company, of course, that kind of situation is very worst. But very infant company just now started, they need to plan more activities of marketing to reach out to the break-even. This is about the last component. That's all about the marginal costing. Look at this is the margin of safety. Your sales 1,700 units, but your break-even sales is only 1,000 units. So you are safe by 700 units. Okay. 41% of your sales is more than break-even. So you are safe by 41%. It can be otherwise calculated as margin of safety is equal to profit by PV ratio. Through this equation also, you can calculate the margin of safety. Profit divided by PV ratio. Actual profit divided by contribution ratio. PV ratio is equal to contribution ratio. Okay. Look at the question. A company is earning a profit of 30,000 units during the year. If the marginal cost and the selling price of the product are 8 rupee and 10 rupee, What is 8 rupee? In this example, what is 8 rupee? 8 rupee is variable cost. Marginal cost is the variable cost. 10 rupee is selling price. Okay, find out the amount of margin of safety. How do we find out the amount of margin of safety? We need profit and we also need PV ratio. Profit is how much here? Profit. Here profit is contribution. Contribution how much? 10 minus 8 is equal to 2 rupees. 2 rupees is the PV ratio. 2 rupees. 2 by 10 into 100 is equal to 20%. 20% is PV ratio. Margin of safety is equal to profit divided by PV ratio. Profit is given the question as total profit 30,000 rupees divided by PV ratio 30,000 divided by 0.2 is equal to 30,000 divided by 0.2. Are you getting 150 or not? How much? 30,000 divided by 0.2 is equal to calculate and tell me. 1 lakh? You getting 150? Yeah. Is the margin of safety. The company is safe by 1,50,000 rupees of margin. Okay. These are all helpful for us to plan your profit, to plan your activities. Okay. It's not a post-mortem report. Before you do everything, you calculate all these things. You come to know what is my margin of safety, what is my break even, how much I have to sell. You can simply say that, sir, I can increase the selling price to reach out my profit. If you increase your selling price, what will happen? If you increase your selling price, what will happen? Selling price can be increased by the company as it wants. Can we do that? I want more profit. I can simply increase my selling price. Sales will decrease. Why? Yeah, same quality of product may be available in the market for lesser price. So company will lose the customers. That is why we cannot just increase the selling price. If you have some feature extra in your product, that speaks for your price. So you can increase. Okay, in today's environment, customers are always having lot of knowledge on the product. Gone are the days, just having something and charging more. In our place where I come from, they say that for printing, it's very famous for printing. Okay. All the calendar, just printing. Those days, color wise, they charge. In one sheet of paper, printing job is to be done means each color some cost will be there. Color. Okay, suppose you're writing block letters and then red letters like that. 2 colors, so charge. These people have charged a certain point in time. For white color also it cost. Customer paid for it. White is always already there in the, if you write on the top block, by giving some space again red, in between color automatically comes in white. But for that also it was charged for some point, up to some point in time. People may not be knowing it. Since there are so many printing press coming in India, to reduce the price, they will charge the lesser price because this is not a actual price. That time they come to know what it is. Then these people are forced to reduce. Okay, concentrating some jobs in some places. Okay, now printing press is spread over so many places. It's not only in 1 or 2 places. Okay, so what I'm saying is customers are having knowledge up to some point in time. They know about your product. You cannot just charge at the price what you want. You have to be very careful about it. So you cannot increase the selling price. What you can do? You want profit, right? What you can do? What should you do? Sell more. That's one thing. Sell more is not giving more profit. Proportionately giving more profit, it is not ROI increasing. What do you want to do? Reduce the cost. Control over the cost. For all those processes, we should have costing department in place. Reducing the wastage. Okay, using the quality material for a lesser price, where you can get the price for those things. It's a comprehensive effort. It's not isolated effort, comprehensive, so that we can achieve the reduced cost of production, so that we can have a bigger margin. Okay. one part you have studied, and there are so many things. Since it's not there in syllabus as well as time, want of time, we are not doing that. Okay, so costing, two things, cost sheet and then break-even analysis or marginal cost. These two are the chapters. In this, there are so many questions, small questions. Actually, break-even analysis has very small question, maybe 5 mark. 5 mark is the minimum mark for an exam. Yeah, 5 mark question maybe from these kind of aspects. Okay. So this is about the semester's entire content. If you have anything, you can ask from this marginal costing. Then I touch upon something on exam. At the time, I will give you today, or we have some more time. Very much. So about 20 more minutes we will spend here. Then we can talk about it. Any doubt, any clarification, anything on marginal costing? You work out so many questions from this file. Is the full formula in this particular file. It has some more other aspect also. Now when you read, you come to know, but it's not discussed in class that you know. Anything else from any other chapters? People who are online, can you hear me? If you have any doubts, anything, any clarification, we are not going to meet again as this for before your exam. If you have anything, you can ask now. Anyone can tell me 3 examples of operating activity? Cash flow. We have 3 activities, right? Yes. 3 examples for operating activity. Without reference. Operating activity? What is operating activity? Regular business, day-to-day activity, core area of the business. What's the example? Buying of raw materials is the best example of operating activity. Then selling of inputs, another example for operating activity. Then manufacturing. Manufacturing is the process, right? Come to accounts. Manufacturing is engineering, right? And one more to that. It will be accounting. Production cost. Paying wages. Paying wages is an example for operating activity. 3 over. Investing activity.
Purchasing raw materials from there.
You need purchase raw material, no. You purchase raw material. That is operating account. Not able to categorically tell what is operating, what is investing, financing. Raw material is useful for what? Doing production cost. So what is your day-to-day regular core activity? That's called operating activity. For a college, payment of salary to the staff is operating outflow, cash outflow. Fees collected from the students is the cash inflow of operating activity. Okay, letting out the ground of the Dayanagara University for some tournament and collecting rent out of that is an example for cash inflow of non-operating. Why are you non-operating? He is very clever. Who are you? I'm not Indian. That is not discriminating who are you. That tells you only who you are not. That's it. If you are not Indian, tell me where are you from? So I am from this particular country. Okay, I am from Pakistan, I am from Sri Lanka, I am from Japan. Tell me that. But it's right, no? Where are you? Who are you? I am not Indian. It's right. But it is not 100% right. That's not giving a 100% clarity. For example, collecting rent from letting out the playground of the university for a tournament is an example for cash inflow of not operating activity. That's sure. But another 2 are there. Not in. What is that? Investing activity. You have a asset. You don't use that right now, the time period. You are giving for somebody else to use. So it's an example for cash inflow from investing activity, investment activity. Okay, then any other 2 examples for investing activities? buying machinery for a manufacturing company is an example for cash outflow of investing activity. Then unless you left out now. Yeah, one more.
Buying land.
Buying land to keep that machine. Building. Okay, buying land and building for a company to make the activities of manufacturing. Fine. That's an example for cash outflow of investing activity. Then financing activity. Investing in other companies is an example for cash outflow of investing activity. Now we are talking about financing activity. Administrative cost is an example for cash outflow of operating activity. Repetition. Sorry? Repetition. What is one sentence, one word? I want to make it perfect. Tell me what is that? Issue of equity share. Collecting money from equity shareholder by issue of equity share is an example for inflow of financing activity. You are financing your business by collecting money from shareholders. That's an example for cash inflow of financing activity. Getting loan is another example of cash inflow of financing activity. Repayment of loan is an example for cash outflow of financing activity. Payment of dividend to the shareholder. Outflow everybody knows. Financing activity. Outflow of financing activity. Receipt of dividend. Inflow of investment activity. For you it is investment, for them it is financing. You are giving money to another company. For that company, it is financing. They are financing their activity through your money. For you, it is excess money. You are investing in some other company. Okay, payment of dividend is outflow of payment of dividends. Financing activity. Receipt of dividend is inflow of. Something you are asking, sir? Something you are asking? Something about rate.
So paying.
Paying rent is an example of outflow. Why are you confusing, man? Paying rent is an example of outflow. Operating activity. Operation activity. It's for factory or it's for artisan. All these things are operating. Okay, so this is what cash flow. You have to revise. Any participation from online students? Anybody? Any doubts? Can you confirm that somebody is there?
Yes, sir, we are there.
Yeah. Can anyone tell some example for finance cost in the profit and loss account? You know, profit and loss account you prepare, right? Profit and loss account. In that, there is some headings, right? Material cost, expense, labor cost, or employee cost, employee benefit expenses. One among them is finance cost. Any example for finance cost? Payment of interest to the bank charges, interest on debenture. These are all the examples for finance cost. That format you have to remember. In exam, you cannot write profit and loss account and balance sheet, which you read otherwise from this class. Okay, you might have read, you might have studied, but that format should not be used. You have to use only the format what we have discussed in the class, that is given in the Companies Act 2013. Vertical or horizontal? What is the format? What is it called? Vertical or horizontal? Vertical format. Okay, starting from sales, so 1 by 1 minus. Only that format you have to follow. If you follow any other format of your own previous learning, you will get 0. Even though everything is correct. The format is wrong. Don't ask me. The format is wrong, we are giving 0. Yes. Companies Act is telling go in this format, but you are going another format. If it is sole proprietorship company, sole proprietorship concern, it is okay. If it is a company, but we are studying only about. That's the reason. Is that? You see? What kind of break you are asking? Break is very possible. Sorry? Exam. Exam. So he is very pre-planning. Exam. Exam is offline only, no? Right? Write for 3 hours. Or you can write for 3 hours, not you have to write for 3 hours. You can write for 3 hours. You have to practice and come. Okay. Question is little lengthy. 100 marks, no? 100 marks. I cannot ask you some small questions. I will ask you some lengthy questions. So you have to be prepared for that. Yeah. Taking copy. Because that question is final. But before meeting the question, you should prepare now. Where the field stands, that is not a problem. How you practice, but to play, very, very important, right? So, chapter, how many are there? Totally, as per your course plan, I mean, as per your syllabus, 5 modules are there. 5 modules, unit 1, unit 3, like that, 5 units are there. 5 modules or units. First unit consists of several chapters also inside that. Introduction to accounting, journal, ledger, trial balance. These 4 are there in the first unit. Okay. In this, introduction to accounting has lot of theory. Okay. Lot of theory. What is accounting? Different branches of accounting, objectives of accounting, advantages of accounting, disadvantages of accounting, principles of accounting. In that, concepts of accounting and convention of accounting. Principle has 2 concepts and convention: business entity concept, money measurement concept, going concern concept, dual aspect concept, objectivity concept, legal evidence. I mean, so many like that. Okay. Similarly, convention. Convention of materiality, convention of prudence. So many of them. So this is first unit, theory. And also one more theory, IFRS. In introduction, I talked about IFRS. Okay, GAAP, GAAP. Generally accepted accounting principles. Okay. IFRS as well as INDAS, Indian Accounting Standard. These are all comprising in unit number 1, first component, introduction to accounting. Then journal. How to prepare a journal? For that, we have a double-entry bookkeeping system. We have a golden rules of accounting based on the 3 rules: personal account rule, real account rule, annual account rule. You have to make journal. Format: date, particulars, ledger folio number, debit, credit. You have to make journal for transactions. Or maybe theory. What do you mean by journal? Give the specimen of journal along with some 2 examples of transaction paused in journal. Or I can give you some transaction. I will be asking you to pause journal entries. Possible? The next, ledger. Preparation of ledger. What's the need for ledger? Or I can ask you to prepare the ledger itself. What's the need for ledger?
To know these separate each accounts, the transactions.
Transactions I really don't know.
No, but
To classify and summarize the transaction. Then trial balance. What do you mean by trial balance? Need for trial balance, format of trial balance, preparation. What do you mean for trial balance?
to know the arithmetic accuracy of the
To know to check the arithmetic accuracy, to ensure the arithmetic accuracy of books of accounts. After that, the chapter is over. Chapter number 1, I mean, unit number 1 over. Second module consists of financial statements. Okay. What do you mean by financial statement? What is the need for the financial statement? What are financial statements? What is the prerequisite of a company to make a financial statement according to company? Then format of profit and loss account, and balance sheet according to Companies Act 2013. Then preparation. To prepare financial statements, what you need? Well, to come to MBA, we don't want first class, second class, third class mark. We want only which mark? DBA or BTech or any degree mark. Without you passing +2, we may not be starting BBA. So we believe only BBA mark. So we don't want ledger. What do you want? Last stage. We can't. Mark is for. So 12 balance we need. Along with that, some more information. With that, you have tried. Basically, your understanding balance sheet and stock loss account is forward. Second one is adjustment. It will come appear in two places. Either in debit side of one account, another one is credit side. Suppose if it is in profit loss account, debit side, it will go to balance sheet, liabilities. Liabilities not here. That logic you have. Next. For without knowing format of P&L account and balance sheet, please don't go for it. If you don't know, please take rest. 3 hours don't waste. Go to a movie. Better you can use that. Otherwise, you fail only. Without knowing that format, if you come later. Okay, that chapter is over.
We have to comment in.
Now, it is there in LMS. LMS is there. Chapter number 2, there is that file. In that file, the format is there. Okay. Next, third module. It's about analysis of financial statements. Very, very important chapter. What do you mean by financial statement analysis? Meaning and definition. Need for analyzing financial statements. Need. Then tools for analyzing financial statements. We should analyze. What is there to apply and analyze? Tools. Among the tools, next one is ratios. What is ratio? What are the different types of ratios? Or classification of ratios? Okay, very careful about formulas. Then applying the formula for some data, finding out the ratios. And then limitation of ratio. Limitation. Though there are so many ratios, it has its own drawbacks. Limitation. That you would study. What else is there? And how to interpret the ratios. That's all about the ratio analysis, or otherwise called financial statement analysis. Next, cash flow. Then another tool for financial analysis is cash flow. Okay, just now we discussed. What is cash flow statement? And what is cash flow? What is cash? Then what is cash flow? What is cash flow statement? Again, for only indirect method. AS3, accounting standard 3 format you have to follow for cash flow statement. Okay, you have done 2-3 questions. You have to find out the net cash flow from operating activity, net cash flow from financing activity, net cash flow from operating activity. Add these 3 plus opening balance of cash is equal to closing balance of cash. This is what cash flow statement is. Okay, in this theory question also may be there. Can you list out the 5 items of cash outflow from investing or operating or financing? Maybe theory question, 5 marks. Okay. And then advantage of cash flow statement, maybe. Next chapter is cost accounting. In cost accounting, what is cost accounting? Objective of cost accounting, difference between cost accounting and management accounting, difference between cost accounting and financial accounting. Then techniques of cost accounting, methods of cost. List out 5 techniques of cost accounting. Maybe 5 more. List out any 5 methods of cost accounting. Maybe. Okay. Then cost sheet. What is cost sheet? Format of cost sheet, preparation of cost sheet. Okay, preparation of cost sheet. After that, marginal costing. What is marginal cost? What is marginal costing? Advantage of marginal costing. Then what is break-even point? What is break-even analysis? What is profit volume analysis? Maybe some application of cost. Some data. Find out break-even point. Find out profit volume ratio. Find out the profit to be earned. I mean, sales to be achieved to earn a profit of. This advantage of marginal cost. Question of marks for theory as well as practical. In accounting paper, actually, you cannot give more weightage for theory. Okay. To have a better understanding, 70-30 or 60-40. 60 to 70% numericals. 30 to 40% descriptive answers. Writing. Maybe here and there some 5%. Time of the harmony is like that. Okay, what is the marks for the format? Format? Format is 15. It is coming in 3 marks. 5. It is coming in 5 marks. 10. If it is coming in 10 marks. You have 3 sections, right? ABC. Yeah, I'm coming to that. If it is coming in 15 marks, you can put the format everything correctly. How much money is that? Right, sir? And if it is coming in 5 marks, if you do everything correctly, how much marks? That depends on the question. Sometimes I may ask you only draw the format of balance sheet according to Indian companies that 2030 in 5 marks. You return everything correctly means 5 marks. Suppose I ask a question, numerical. You return only format. Skeleton is there. Apartments are constructed, nobody is living there. What's the rent? No rent. 0 rent. You got the point? You got the point? But if you are staying there and not paying rent, penalty. Meaning, question asked to prepare P&L account and balance sheet, numbers are given. You did not prepare in the format. You prepared in some other format. That time? That means format has mark when you have something in it. Only format is there. It depends. Maybe other things. Suppose you got what's the passing mark? 40, assume 40. You got 35. Already you got 35. The skeleton is standing there. If I give 0, it will fail. So I may give there. Already you got 38. I may give. Already you got only 30. I'll give 0. I'll keep it. Fail 30. That's the one. Something hard and possible. It's case by case. It's nothing but case by case. Okay, you cannot have same answer. Just test it. Same answer, write it one time. Same answer, write another time. Same thing is correcting. 2 different marks will do this. It's not computer, right? It's not a machine. It's not objective type question. It's subjective question. When you answer subjectively, correction also can be in subjective. Okay, so it's not that accurate. We can go. Of course, modern days, nowadays, they're compelling us to go with some rubrics and all. Very difficult in a descriptive answer to follow rubrics. Same thing you produce. Okay, others are producing. Handwriting may differ. Okay, how it presented will differ. So that creates difference in mark also. That's very difficult. I'm doing this job for last 20 years. Still, I don't know how to fix that problem. Difference in mark. Always student will come. Now also if I have a problem, sir, I have only 23, I have 24, I have 25, 26, not the reason. That's not class. 4 marks, 1 by 1, 30 marks assignment. You gave me only 26. Where I went wrong, tell me for 4 marks. Then you revalued. We revalued, he's getting only 60 marks. Okay, sir, whichever is higher, I'll take it. Problem is there. But follow format and just bring some numbers. I mean, suppose you're writing middle class. Of course, some kind of arranging at that number. Okay, you are having employee benefit cost. Not exactly same amount is the answer. All the wages, salary, bonus, everything you bring in there. 1 or 2 items you missed. Okay, you can get some 10 marks out of the total 15. If everything is not tallied correctly, but you return everything properly. You need not write anything, machine in P&L account. wage in balance sheet. If you write wage in balance sheet, how do I give mark? They cannot give 0. Minus mark only give, but there is no chance they will give 0. So that kind of illogical thing may not be there. Otherwise, you get 10 marks. Section C, case study, you have 45 marks, 15, 15, 15. In that, it may be a part, one of sometimes maybe. That time, at least, they'll see how much you posted in the P&L, how much you posted in balance sheet, the weightage. Based on that, we can. Illogical answer. Okay, employee benefit cost, you take it in, write it in. Balance sheet means giving 10 marks is more. 0 also not possible. In today's environment, 0 is they are not giving 0, but somehow not high. Okay. So this is about the question. Section A, B, C. Section A comprises of 3 questions. Now 5 questions, you will answer 3. 3 into 5, 15 marks. Section B comprises of 5 questions. You will write 4 questions. 4 into 10, 10, 40 marks. So 40 plus 15, 55. Section C, only 3 questions. You will write all the 3. 15 marks each, 45 marks. Coming to 100. 3 hours. Okay. Theory and numerical distribution, I told you. 60 to 70% numerical, 30 to 40% theory. Okay, suppose you are good in theory, I want to study only theory, you can study, you can pass also. Here and there, you can do one or two questions here in the numerical format that is collecting some marks, marginal marks. You can get pass. Okay, I think your system is easy to pass. Already you are having some 60 marks in your hand. Out of 60, you made out minimum 40, 40, 45. You are not seeing. You are not seeing it. I know that you ask like this. The morning is even the uploading. You cannot do all the things together.
If you do good assignment, so that we will.
Yeah, if you decently do in the exam, normally minimum. Definitely you pass now. Is there any passing minimum in the exam? No. I don't think so.
What I said, if you do good in assignment itself.
Yeah, that doesn't mean, yeah, correct. Your second in my opinion, correct, exactly.
Examination, that how will you be calculating in for
Yeah, how much you got, you have to 100 into. But I don't think you have to get some minimum there to pass. Check it in the office. Because I gave some 10, 20 somebody, but later I was asking, they also need minimum pass mark. Maybe because of the internal assessment, you have 60 marks in your hand, minimum 40, you may get it. So in that way. Okay, anyway, you now break now. After coming, I'll give you some tips and tricks and some questions on. Thank you, see. We will take break for 10 minutes, then we can start. Those who are online, please take 10 minutes break.
Okay, sir.
Sir, Shayok here, sir.
Something you are asking?
Yeah, sir. I just wanted to check, sir, when this grades.
Somebody is asking me 1 minute. Yes, sir. Tell me.
Yeah, Shayok here, sir. Just wanted to check, sir, when these grades will be available on portal.
Yeah, soon, very soon. Second assignment, I think I have not started grading because one more day is there for submission. Tomorrow is the last day. First assignment I have done. You can please check it if it is available. Otherwise, let me know. I'll check it.
Oh, you have already given the grade for.
Yeah, it's given. You just check it. If it is
Sure,
not
sure.
appearing for you, let me know. Okay.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Thank you. We'll meet after the break.
Sure.
Thank you. for the previous year question paper. Other online, we are resuming. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So 50 is our exam. Yes. Account.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Morning. If you are going to write the exam, you can listen very carefully. Okay. I'm not going to tell anything new. 5 mark question. What can you ask me?
What is accountancy
So
defined?
before that, what is important? Which chapter will come for? Which mark? Which section? Which? Five chapters are. I mean, 5 modules. Section A, 5 questions will be there. No? Each module of that. Is that fine? One question from one module. Okay. Section A. Section B, how many questions should be there? 4 questions you have to write. The previous year question paper, I think 5 questions or 6 questions. Section B, you are supposed to write 4 questions. You have to answer for 4 questions. But how many questions will be there in the question paper? 5 or 6? Is there? 6. Each of them. So as you understand, it is an offline exam, so don't log in on the examination time on your Zoom and wait for the question attempts. Okay. All of you have to come half an hour before the exam hall. Personally. Okay. That will make it faster. Maybe in person that it may be online, because always you are online, right? Okay. Yes, sir. Whether we found out? Yeah.
4. Starting 4 questions.
Yeah, that's only 4 only.
Yes, only 4.
3 we have to.
3 we have to answer.
3 or now. Okay, if that's the case, each question from each chapter except the last chapter. No, first in the second module. Okay, cash flow will omit for section A. Except cash flow statement chapter, all chapter have one question in section A. Clear? Section B, how many questions should be there?
5
5 questions should be there, each one.
4 we have.
4 we have to
Yeah.
answer.
75. Okay, each one. Section B. Section C, one cash flow. Because we missed out there, no? So here one cash flow, section C, one cash flow. One financial statement. Okay. Okay. Write it initially and then the other will be otherwise it will read it. Can I go? Percentage of lengthy answer. Yeah. One question I'm asking you to do for one data. I can tell you to do other things. Is it okay? Radi. The theory I told you. 40% theory or 60 to 70%. Okay, now if we come to question, it's very difficult to find out a question which is not important. Say for example, first module, we are to have one 5 mark and one 10 mark. Possibility of 5 markers. Objectives of accounting. Need for IFRS. Difference between first one is objectives of accounting for accounting, and then types branches of accounting. Yeah, that is very important. Users of accounting information. Users of accounting information. In the normally it needs different.
Excuse me, Professor.
Not able to hear me?
Sir, we are unable to hear you, sir.
Yeah. Now is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So I'm just talking about the various questions that you may come across in the exam. Possible chances. I mean, important things. Before that, we are talking about the allocation of, inclusion of the portion in the respective sections of the question paper. I hope you heard that. You people are able to hear that. Section A, 4 questions.
Yes.
Out of 4, you have tried 3. In that, we decided to have 1 question from all the chapters except cash flow. Okay. Remaining all the 4 chapters will have 1 question in section A. Similarly, section B, you have to write 4 questions out of 5. So we decided to have 1 question each from each chapter. We have 5 modules, right? So one module, one question in that logic. Then case study, section C, you tried for 45 marks, comprising of 3 sub-questions. That we decided to have 1 in cash flow, 1 in ratio, 1 in financial statement. That's what I told just before this. And now we are talking about some questions in chapter number 1. In that, need, objective, differences of financial accounting with other accounting. And I was talking about the users of accounting information. Users. Then concepts of accounting and convention of accounting. I think these are all questions. For your information, it's all questions actually. We are not telling any specific question, but theory. 5 also should be there, 10 also should be there now. So you have to take all the questions only in the first module. Okay. Apart from that, preparation of journal, maybe 1 or 2 entries I can give you. You can prepare a journal. What is the journal entry for? Rent paid. Rent account debit to cash. What is the journal entry for? Purchase of raw material for cash. Raw material account debit to cash. Or purchase account debit to cash. Like that, some entries. Okay. 5 marker. 5 mark. Okay. If it is 10 mark means some more entries, 5 entries minimum. 5 entries. Or I can give you trial balance. In 10 mark, okay, 5 mark maybe mostly theory only. Whatever we discussed in the beginning. Meaning, need, okay, that thing. IFRS, gap, everything. If it comes to 10 mark, journal entry maybe 5 given, and you have to write 5 journal entries. Transactions 5 journal entries. Or if you think journal entries are already done in the assignment 1, I can give you some trial balance. Of course, that's not done. Okay, but some kind of difference trial balance may be there. You can prepare a trial balance, 10 mark. Some 20 items. You can prepare a trial balance. You know the trial balance, right? I'll give you the extract of the ledger accounts. You have to make a trial balance. Say, for example, I'll give 20 items. Don't make journal entry. That's again problem. You are not able to understand the question what it is. So many years I'm saying. If I tell you prepare a trial balance from the following ledger account balances, I'll give rent 20,000, salary 10,000, wage 40,000. What you are doing is you are making journal entry. Many times like that. At that time, it is very difficult for us to give mark. One thing you have to keep in mind, our situation is very, very worst. Teachers who is examining the student, very worst. We cannot give you less and we are not able to give more also. What mark I have to give? I have to only write and give you. And for your case, it is not possible also. Why? Why is it not possible? Your papers are coming to us after scanning. Your valuation is only in system. You are writing an exam, right? That is being scanned. It is uploaded in our system. Only the scanned file, PDF file is available for us. I cannot write. If I'm writing, then I have to write again, scan and upload. That option is not available for us. So please understand the question first. Read the question 2 times, 3 times. If you don't understand, please ask who is there sometime. If really. Okay. Don't do journal entries for a question which is asking you to prepare trial balance. Because you are seeing that item right. Similarly, you are thinking that, okay, it's a trial balance. Rent 20,000, wage 20,000. If it is there, you start writing the journal entries. Rent account debit 20,000, cash account credit 20,000. It's right. But it is not the question what I'm asking you. So read the question twice, thrice. Make sure that what is asked, answer only for what is asked. Many times what you're doing, you're writing whatever you know or whatever you want to write. Please don't do that. It's very painful exercise to correct the papers. Painful exercise. I'm more interested in correcting paper than teaching. But for me, by seeing your papers in the system, it's giving a lot of worries to see. Because correct at least 70%, 80%, 60% correct is okay. We can give mark. But completely writing a wrong answer, illogical answer, that time it is very difficult for us to give mark. Okay, so please keep in mind, what question is asked, that question you answer. Read 1, 2 times, 3 times. Make sure that what is asked. Okay, this much easy we have done. Okay, after this, there is nothing to confuse in the exam. Okay, trial balance, 10 mark. Okay, and then second module, right? Second module is about preparation of financial statement. We allotted this for which one? 115 mark, another one is for 10 mark, right? 10 mark. In 10 mark, I may ask you theory or format, or I can give you some 10 items. How do you treat this in the financial statement? 10 mark question. I may ask you, how do you treat the following items in the preparation of financial statement? I may tell you outstanding rent, adjustments, accrued interest. If it is outstanding rent, what should you do? You have to write, it will be added with the rent while preparing profit and loss account under the heading called other expenses. That should be that. Okay, if it is salary, outstanding salary I'm giving, or prepaid salary I'm giving, prepaid salary of 2,000 rupees. How do you treat this in the preparation of financial statement? You have to write answer like this. It should be subtracted from the salary from the heading called or under the heading called employee benefit expenses while preparing profit and loss account. This much you have to write. Suppose I'm telling another one, depreciation on plant. What you have to write? It should be added in the amortization and depreciation heading while preparing profit and loss account, and also it should be subtracted from the machine or plant while preparing balance sheet, because adjustment will come in 2 places. That you have to write 2 points. I may give you 5 points. All the 5 points will have 2 answers. Closing stock. What do you do? Closing stock should be considered while calculating the materials consumed. It should be subtracted. Same time, it should be shown as inventory while preparing a balance sheet. So you should be very careful about all the normal, general, popular adjustments, not of anything more minute or more technical or more of unusual nature. I'm not asking. Very general, closing stock, depreciation, outstanding, accrued, this kind of thing. 10. If you know this, you can prepare the balance sheet and the profit and loss account very correctly in the 15 marker also. It's both are interconnected question. 10 marks only theory. The application of this with the number is coming in case study 15 marks. Clear? So in second chapter, no, 5 marker also is there. 5 marker. 5 marker means very simple. Maybe a format of P&L account, a format of balance sheet. Okay. Or what is a balance sheet? What is a profit and loss account? That kind of question. 5 mark. Then 10 mark adjustment. Okay. Any treatment of adjustments. Okay. Or 10 mark also maybe asking you to use both the format. Draw the format of profit and loss account as well as balance sheet. Maybe possible. Right. Next. Chapter number 3. What is that? Cash flow statement. 5 marker, no. We decided. Okay. So in 10 marker, theory again. What are the uses of cash flow statement? Or format of a cash flow statement? Or I can ask you some items. List out and explain 2 items under each heading of inflow and outflow. Possible. Okay. That is what 10 mark. In 15 mark, I'll give you one balance sheet. 2 years figures will be there. You have to prepare a cash flow statement for those data. In 15 mark. Clear? And then next chapter is analysis of financial statement. This has 5 marker also. So what do you mean by financial statement analysis? Or just list out the financial statement analysis tools. Or I may ask you any one tool to explain. What do you mean by trend analysis? Or what do you mean by percentage analysis? Or what do you mean by common size statement? Any one tool. There are some 5-6 tools are popular tools are there. I may ask you. Or what do you mean by ratio analysis? Or classify the ratios. 4 ratios are there. What are the 4 ratios? 4 broader heading. Which one?
Solvency ratio.
Solvency, liquidity, profitability, activity. Which one?
Short-term ratio, long-term ratio.
Solvency, liquidity, then turnover, then activity. No, turnover and activity both are same. Profitability. Activity, profitability, solvency, liquidity. Both. In solvency, yeah, solvency, both are solvency only. Long-term solvency is called as just solvency. Short-term solvency can be called as liquidity. Okay. So in these 4 categories, explain the ratios. 2 ratios we can explain if it is 10 mark question. Okay. If any points are not clearly asked, if there are so many points available, depending upon the mark, you write the points. Suppose it's 5 mark question, we need not write more than 5 points, though there are so many points. Suppose I'm asking ratios in 5 marker, you need not explain more than 5 ratios. It's waste of time. Only 5 mark question. If it is 10 mark question, 5 ratios you are explaining in detail, depth you have to go. No, sir, I explained 10 ratios as just a brief. That's also fine. If it is not specified in the question, explain any 4 ratios. It itself clearly says you have to go in detail about explaining 4 ratios if it is 10 mark question. If it is 5 mark question, just a glance you can give. Clear? So you have to decide about the answer length based on the mark. Okay. So that is one. Next one is, so ratio analysis, theory, as well as 10 mark, as well as 15 mark. Theory means I may give you some small data and ask you to calculate ratio also in 5 mark. That's also possible. It's not only sticking to only theory. That I will take care of the ratio 70-30, depending upon that. Okay. Any doubt in this? Ratios. Next one is costing. Next one is costing. So costing 5 mark question maybe. Sorry, cash flow already told no. Cash flow is not coming for 5 mark. It's coming for 10 mark and 15 mark. we already explained. Okay, that is format or the number of list of items coming under each category of activities. I told you theory. Okay, and one particular question, one balance sheet will be given, you have to prepare cash flow statement. That is for here. So cost accounting, in cost accounting, yeah, what is the difference between cost accounting and financial, financial accounting? Objective of cost accounting. Objective. Then methods and techniques of cost accounting. Only listing. Methods and techniques of cost accounting. Then preparation of cost sheet. 10 mark. Preparation of cost sheet. A normal, decent, moderate cost sheet. Okay, with all possible, normal, popular adjustments. Maybe raw material opening and closing, work in progress opening and closing, finished goods opening and closing, scrap, and two items or 3 items of each and every overheads. Just adding it. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 points of something new. Okay, maybe divide by number of units. Total cost you found out, dividing by number of units, like that. That is for how many marks? 10 marks. Okay. 15 mark it won't come. Because 10 plus 5 already over. Okay, we already decided not to have cost sheet in the 15 mark. Okay. Marginal costing. If I cost sheet I take in 10 mark, marginal costing question I take it in 5 mark. Because cost accounting, cost sheet, the marginal costing comes in the same chapter. Same chapter. Okay, we cannot give more weightage for that. I cannot ask you 2 questions. One is on marginal costing, one is on cost sheet in 10 mark. That is not a correct one. Okay. So marginal costing maybe for 5 mark. Is it clear? So this is about the distribution of costing.
Unit 1,
Unit 1.
Unit 2 and Unit 3 will be having way more.
Unit 1 and
Unit 2 and Unit 3.
2 and 3. 2 in financial statement, 10 plus 15 plus 5. 10 plus 15 plus 40 mark. 10 plus 15 plus 5. Yeah, 1 5 mark question, 1 50 mark question, 1 10 mark question. Yes, it should be there now because that's the important essence of the subject. Statement, if you do not know statement and analysis, this chapter, this study is not required. Not study the purpose.
Unit 3 to 7. Ratio analysis. That also 10 plus 15 plus 5.
Okay. Good, no? It is calculating the distribution of mark. Yeah, per unit.
While preparing.
For whom? See, not to just prepare. Final stage after preparing everything, when you are setting the field, right? That time this will happen. Fielders should know how to field. Otherwise, you are making to stand in outside or let's say whatever, that won't work. Okay, setting the fielders in the respective place will not work when the fielders are not knowing how to field. Okay, last stage arrangement, not preparation. Okay, so that's all about the examination. So come to the exam hall, very advanced, bring all the stationery. These are giving paper they are giving. Calculator, you have to bring. Bring calculator. Bring a calculator which is convenient for you to use. Okay, if you press 9, only 9 should come. It is 3. 99 or 93 should not come. Okay, based on your usage. Okay, so very small calculator. If you bring, otherwise, it's not big deal, but very careful and adding, subtracting only is their arithmetic operations you are going to do. You may not be doing that in real life. Only for exam you are going to do. Do it very carefully. Zeros. Okay, 100. How many zeros will you take? 100. But when pressing in the calculator, you may sometimes press it or additionally press it. Okay, there are calculators having 2 zeros, 3 zeros in a single button, or only 1 zero in one button. So that time you have to be very careful. Don't waste most of your time in one single question. I will only tally, then you'll go to the next question. That will not have any price or any mark. 15 mark question, I can give maximum how much? Simple. Nobody tallied that question. Nobody done that correctly. So only you have done exactly correct. That time also you get only no relative grading. I am for relative grading. We don't have any relative grading. Only absolute grading. How much you deserve for that question, that much only you get. So my point is, don't waste your time in one single question, struggling that, no sir, I will definitely get the answer. I want to prove that I know this question. Proof is not required here. Okay, that is not the thing what is assessed. Assessment is overall understanding of the subject. So don't waste your time and don't leave any question except choice question. Try for 100 marks. If you are not able to withstand for till the last over, don't come for match. Simple. You have to withstand. And the mark you write. Then don't write something irrelevant. So you only told me 100 marks, you write it, I write everything. Don't reproduce the question. There are some clever products. Just reproduce the question. Please don't reproduce the question. If you find one question has been reproduced, I'll get irritated, I'll reduce the mark. For other questions, what you written correctly. Really, I'm telling you, I am such a person who will do like this. If I get irritation in the exam, correction. Okay. I have done it also. So please don't test the patience of the examiner. If you know, write it. If you don't know, write something relevant, don't reproduce the question. What you will do now, you will reproduce the balance sheet. I mean, the cash flow statement, you will reproduce the balance sheet. It looks like a real answer. It looks like a real answer, but you have to go and check it. It will be confusing. Then I will check my key answer is wrong, whether your is correct. That kind of confusion is fine. That make delay in the process. That kills your mark. Please don't do that. Write the question number very properly. Write the question number properly. 9 should look like a 9 only. 6 should look like 6 only for others, not for you. Okay, write legibly the number. At least the number, question number, write it legibly. And write the question number separately from the point number. What you are all doing, it's very irritating when you are writing paper. We don't know what is point number, what is question number. Sometimes what happens, that boy got 120 mark. He has written the exam only for 100. When I'm totaling it, it comes 120. So it's not how it is 120, maybe 2 papers together I'm checking, only 3 paper. Then finally what has happened, point number also equal mark. Point number and question number is not written separately. Please write question number in the margin, inside the margin. Yeah. Section, at least section you can make out if you write the number correctly. Okay. Leave some space for one question to another question. It's another case. 2-3 questions together I may give only mark for one question. That's not a possible correction. If you had written 3 lines for 3 questions, I might have thought it is one question for 5 marks, I would have given only 3 marks. Actually, if it is 3 questions means, here there are the 1, 1, 1, 3 marks is going to come. Here also 3 marks, but anyway, please write separately one question, another question. Write one, draw one line if it is possible. Otherwise, leave some sufficient space. Don't worry about the sustainability now. Use as much space as you want. It is there in the booklet. Okay, anything else? Use, don't confuse and write it. So section A one question, then section B one question, then section C another question, then again section 1, section 2. Don't do that. Not hard and fast. Yeah, feeling you can do, but deliberately don't do that. Okay, right? Section A, finish it, throw it out, then section B, then go to section C. Or section C you can write first, section B, section C, no problem. But don't confuse. See, your section B answer and section A answer looks like similar, means quantum of answer. What I will think, I will give only 4, 4. You are going to lose. Or I may give 7, 7. You are going to get benefited, but that is also not good. So please don't confuse the teacher. I am the only person going to correct your paper. That's not secret. Okay, so please adjust with my expectation and write well. Before that, prepare well. All the very best. Thank you. Any doubt, anything is there, you can call me or you can WhatsApp me. Or WhatsApp means not reply me, you can call me. Now this 1 week, you can give some priority for you. 50 exam means now it is 22nd. 22nd. From 8 and 8 days are there. Discuss no problem, but don't ask me any exact answer for any exact question. Somebody will send a question in WhatsApp group. Sir, what is the solution for this? That kind of thing I am not able to find. You work out that. You can take both answer as well as question. You send it to me. But I have done like this, but in book answer is something different. where I went wrong, but I can check. Easy. Fine, so this is what,
Question paper model is there in the element.
yeah, exactly, model also is there and the previous question paper also is there. Model question paper I uploaded, university has given the exact question paper of your previous batches. That is also there, I think. You can download, but it will be somehow coming again. See, it's only a small area. You are taking again and again in the same syllabus. Question paper means, of course, there is chance of repeating. Repeating the nature of question. Maybe Ram has become Abdullah will become Joseph. Number 10,000 maybe 20,000, 20,000 maybe 40,000. Chances are there. But university checks, there is a plagiarism software. In that, if they're checking, they'll ask me to redraft the question. And we already give a lot of questions to university. From there also they take. So there is a chance of repeating, not as exactly the reporting same question, but some kind of model. But anyway, we set a model. Now we have set a model. In this model only our question is going to be. Okay, the first question paper is asked from me. If you have bad luck, if they taken from some other question paper, maybe some other model we would have set like this in the previous batch, that will be right. But anyway, if you cover all these areas, you will definitely will be in a comfortable position to get more than 80%. Okay, all the very best. See you again. Thank you. Online people, any doubt, anything you want to ask? Any chat box you written anything? I have not seen the chat at
Sir.
all.
No.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, any question
Yes, sir.
paper last time?
Yeah, last year's
semester?
question paper is already there in LMS. Somebody from your class is telling it is available. You can take it.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Can you wind up? If anything is there, you can write to me. You can talk to me by call. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you.
What is the
Cash flow statement, sir.
new format? It comes in both, right? Cash flow statement comes in both. 5 mark it won't come, but both will come. 10 mark as well as 15 mark. Okay, thank you. Thank you. See you again.
Thank you. Second one is Time and people have to do is last time.
Started writing a review about I discussed
This time you. Oh, you.
Level.